This extraordinary BBC investigation into Mohamed Al-Fayed, who I think on Fleet Street at least was widely known to be something of a wrong-un, but whose the depths of his depravity, Fraser Knight, have only really been confirmed in the last 24 hours. And in the last 2 hours, things have got even worse.
Yeah, there's been a press conference by a group of lawyers who now say they're representing 37 women who've come forward with claims against Mohamed Al-Fayed. And what they've said is they're now going after Harrods, who they've accused of corporate sexual exploitation. They have described Mohamed Al-Fayed, the former owner of Harrods, as a monster who was enabled and potentially allowed to commit widespread sexual abuse by the system that was in place. These lawyers have actually compared some of those, accounts to those that we heard of around Jimmy Savile, around Jeffrey Epstein, and around Harvey Weinstein, saying it's the worst of those cases pulled together. Now, Natasha, who is one of the alleged victims, spoke at this press conference about her experience of working with Mohamed Al-Fayed, and just a warning, some of what she says might be distressing here.
I was subjected to AIDS and STD testing without consent, and now believe in hindsight I was checked for my purity. We would be sent to see Al-Fayed because he had a job for us to do. It was always more of a friendly chat than actual work. But then these private meetings turned into more. A forced kiss, his hands gripping your face to his lips, or pulling you down on his lap, where his hands were free to explore any part of your body that he wished.
And the lawyers were saying that lots of women faced similar experiences there, where they were going for jobs like personal assistants or even just an interior designer, and were subjected to really intrusive sexual health checks. Now, among the lawyers on this team is Gloria Allred. You might recognise her name. She has represented victims in some of the most high-profile sexual abuse cases, including those of Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein. And she gave her analysis of what happened at Harrods.
Harrods is often referred to as the most beautiful store in the world. It has a storied and glamorous history. Many women dreamed of working there, to be associated with this prestigious corporation and to further their careers. However, underneath Harrods' glitz and glamour was a toxic, unsafe, and abusive environment.
Now, of course, James, Mohamed Al-Fayed died last year, aged 94, and some of those lawyers saying they wish he was alive to see the reputation that he's left there. And Harrods have said that today the organisation is a very different one to the one that was owned and controlled by Al-Fayed between 1985 and 2010. And they say since new information came to light last year about historic allegations of sexual abuse, it has been our priority to settle claims in the quickest way possible, avoiding lengthy legal proceedings.
And one element as well that is particularly harrowing is the efforts put into silencing women by people who were not Mohamed Al-Fayed.
Yeah, we heard about security who were paid to follow these women and make sure that they weren't speaking about what happened. Some of them tapping phones, it's alleged. Others, just keeping an eye on them, even to see if they were in a relationship to feed back to Mohamed Al-Fayed. They said there were cameras everywhere other than in the chairman's office.